If you're over 60, the way you've been touching yourself could already be damaging your body and you might not even know it. I've seen too many men lose sensitivity, struggle with weaker erections, or even injure delicate blood vessels simply because they never learned how to adapt. The truth is, the habits that felt natural in your 30s could quietly be stealing your pleasure and your confidence today. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to protect your circulation, keep your nerve health intact, and enjoy safe, satisfying experiences without the hidden risks that catch so many men by surprise. I am Dr. Nora Blake, a board-certified urologist with over 20 years of experience helping men over 60 safeguard their sexual health and confidence. Let me know in the comments what decade you were born in and where you're watching from, so I can keep bringing you the kind of real, practical insights that actually matter to your life. And if you care about staying healthy, confident, and in control for years to come, hit that subscribe button right now. Now, let's begin. If you're over 60, have you ever stopped to think that the way you've been touching yourself for decades might now be quietly working against you? I've seen it happen more often than you might believe. Men who were once confident in their own bodies suddenly find themselves dealing with discomfort, reduced sensation, or even lingering irritation after something that used to be effortless and satisfying. The truth is, after 60, your body changes in ways most men never get taught to adapt to. And if you don't adjust, those familiar, fast, firm, and finish-focused habits you've relied on for years can gradually wear down your circulation, dull your nerve endings, and leave you feeling more frustrated than fulfilled. My name is Dr. Nora Blake, and as a board-certified urologist, I've spent over 20 years helping men your age navigate these changes with confidence, safety, and pleasure intact. My goal in this video is not to tell you to stop, but to show you how to evolve your technique so it works with your body instead of against it. And here's the part: most men don't realize that drop-in response you might be noticing isn't necessarily dysfunction, it's biology. Nothing is broken about you. But the way your body reacts now is different, and the sooner you understand those changes, the sooner you can protect yourself while keeping intimacy enjoyable. Which is why, before we get into the practical steps, I want to walk you through exactly what's happening inside your body after 60, so you can see why the old way doesn't always serve you anymore. You are not broken, your body's simply running on a different rhythm. And that rhythm shift is driven by three main systems aging together. First is your hormone system, testosterone. The key hormone that fuels your libido, mood, and performance gradually declines. That doesn't mean desire disappears completely, but it becomes less spontaneous. Instead of those sudden urges you might have had in your 30s or 40s, arousal may need a little more time and the right conditions to build. Second, your blood vessels. The tiny ones that feed the penis lose some of their elasticity. They're not as quick or efficient at delivering the surge of blood needed for a firm, lasting erection, especially when you're alone, relaxed, and without the extra adrenaline a partner's presence can sometimes spark. That's why building and maintaining firmness can feel slower or more unpredictable than it used to. And third, your peripheral nervous system, the web of sensory nerves that translate touch into pleasure, naturally becomes less reactive. Those nerve endings that once fired instantly now process sensation more quietly, which means touch can feel muted or delayed. All of these changes together create a new reality. The old methods you used in your 20s through 50s, the same grip, the same pace, the same focus on racing toward climax, don't necessarily deliver the same results. Here's where many men fall into a trap. They feel that drop in sensation and instinctively push harder, tighten their grip, or speed up to get it back. But this reflex, while completely understandable, can actually make things worse, overwhelming your slower nerve pathways, putting more strain on delicate blood vessels, and turning what should be pleasure into pressure. That's why the next part of this conversation is so important. I'm going to reveal the 5 silent mistakes I see most often in men over 60 when it comes to self-touch. And more importantly, how to avoid them so you can protect your health while enhancing your experience. If you're doing any of these things, stop today because they're quietly sabotaging your experience. The first is using the same tight grip you've relied on for decades. After 60, the skin on your penis becomes thinner and more vulnerable to friction. That iron grip might have felt good in your 30s, but now it can crush small blood vessels, blunt nerve endings, and leave you less responsive over time. The fix is simple but powerful. Loosen your hold. Focus on feeling, not force. Let your hand be a guide, not a clamp. The second mistake is going too fast, too soon. As your nervous system slows, rapid motion can overwhelm the sensory signals before your brain can process them, making pleasure feel oddly flat. Think of it like trying to enjoy a song that's playing at double speed. You can't catch the melody. The solution is a slow, steady rhythmic pace that gives your brain a chance to register and savor each sensation. The third mistake is skipping lubricant. Many men think lube is for couples or for women, but that's a myth. As testosterone drops, your skin naturally produces less moisture, and combined with thinner tissue, dry stimulation can lead to micro tears, irritation, or lingering soreness. That's why I recommend a gentle, unscented, water-based lubricant applied early before you're fully aroused so the skin can soften, the nerves can wake up, and the touch feels pleasurable instead of abrasive. The fourth mistake is forcing yourself to climax, as if the entire point is to reach the finish line. After 60, arousal may come in waves, and the harder you chase that peak, the more likely you are to trigger stress hormones that shut pleasure down. Release the stopwatch. Let your body set the pace, and if satisfaction comes without climax, that's still success. The fifth and final mistake is ignoring your body's feedback. After years of habit, it's easy to slip into autopilot, but this stage of life is less about repetition and more about response. If something feels dull, adjust. If it feels uncomfortable, stop. If you discover something unexpectedly good, stay with it. You're not performing, you're listening. And here's the part most men never expect. Lube isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Just as glasses help your eyes and hearing aids help your ears, lubricant protects and enhances the sensitivity you still have. Now that you know the pitfalls to avoid, let me walk you through a step-by-step approach to self-touch that supports your health and heightens your pleasure at the same time. It's time to shift from machine mode to intentional massage. This isn't about rushing or grinding, it's about creating a space where your body can relax into sensation. Start by choosing your moment wisely. Give yourself 15 to 20 minutes where you know you won't be interrupted because your nervous system can't truly let go if it's on alert. Then set the stage for comfort. Dim the lights, put on soft background music, or use warm ambient lighting, anything that signals your brain it's safe to relax. Before you touch yourself, take 5 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. This simple act primes your body to shift from tension to presence. Next, apply lubricant early, not as an afterthought, but as the opening move. Gently work it across your entire genital area, letting the warmth and moisture become part of the experience. From there, explore slowly. Don't rush straight to your most sensitive spots. Treat it like a massage change. The pressure adjusts the angle of your hand. Experiment with different rhythms. If your arousal dips, don't panic. Pause, shift your position, or come back later. The goal isn't to push through, it's to stay connected. Throughout the process, keep your breath steady. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. This isn't just about relaxation, steady breathing supports blood flow, helps you stay grounded, and amplifies sensation. At first, this slower, more deliberate approach might feel unfamiliar, even strange. But for many men, it unlocks a depth of satisfaction they haven't felt in years. Not a sharp spike, but a warm, steady wave that lingers. And once you start to experience that difference, you'll never want to go back to the old way. In the next part, I'm going to take this one step further and show you how your position and even simple supportive tools can make every sensation more vivid by freeing your nerves and maximizing circulation. Sometimes the smallest change in your position can completely transform the way you feel. Many men don't realize that simply sitting in the wrong place can sabotage blood flow and sensation without them knowing it. If you're seated on a hard chair or hunched forward, you're likely compressing the pelvic nerves and restricting circulation to the very area you're trying to awaken. It's a bit like stepping on a garden hose. You can't expect a steady flow if something's pressing down on the line. Instead, try reclining with solid support behind your back, lying comfortably on your side, or placing a pillow under your knees to slightly elevate your legs. That subtle lift can reduce pressure on the pelvic floor and free up blood flow, making sensations more immediate and responsive. And here's something most men overlook: the tools you use don't have to be flashy or intimidating. Gentle aids like a warming sleeve or a textured soft surface device are not toys in the way you might imagine. They're closer to reading glasses or a cushioned insole, practical supports that adapt to the changes in your body. Their purpose is to reduce the need for excessive grip or friction while providing just enough stimulation to engage your nerves in a healthy way. You might be surprised at how much more you feel, not because you're working harder, but because you've removed the subtle obstacles in your way. In fact, I've seen men rediscover sensation they thought was gone forever, simply by swapping a rigid position for one that supports their body naturally. And sometimes the difference is as simple as a strategically placed pillow doing more for your pleasure than all the extra force in the world. Now that we've set up your body for success physically, we need to take a step deeper, because lasting satisfaction after 60 isn't just about mechanics, it's about the space you create in your mind. After 60, self-touch becomes less of a performance and more of a meeting place where your body, your mind, and your nervous system come together. The biggest barrier I see in men at this stage isn't physical, it's mental. They carry old expectations like heavy luggage, believing they need to recreate the way things were decades ago, with the same speed, the same intensity, and the same finish every time. But here's the truth: pleasure now has a different rhythm, and it's not measured by how quickly or how dramatically you reach climax. It's measured by how connected you feel in the moment. Letting go of the old rules opens the door to slower, softer, and far more mindful pleasure. This means allowing arousal to rise and fall naturally, without trying to force it back up to the same peak you remember from years past. If you notice tension creeping in, whether in your body or in your thoughts, pause. That pause isn't failure, it's recalibration. If you find your mind wandering to the day's stress, return to your breath. The inhale brings you back to sensation. The exhale releases the pressure to perform. And if you feel genuinely satisfied before reaching orgasm, give yourself permission to stop. That's not giving up. It's honoring the reality that pleasure can be complete without following an old script. In fact, some of the most fulfilling experiences my patients describe happen in those moments when they stop chasing an ending and simply stay with what feels good. One of the most freeing shifts you can make is understanding that climax is not the definition of success. Presence is. And once you embrace that, everything changes, from the way you touch yourself to the way you carry your confidence outside the bedroom. Up next, I'm going to give you clear, simple medical guidelines so you'll know exactly when it's time to check in with a doctor and when what you're feeling is simply part of your body's natural evolution. Taking care of yourself at the right time almost always leads to better outcomes. The problem is many men either wait too long or ignore signals their body is giving them because they assume it's just age or something to push through. But some changes deserve attention, not judgment, because they can often be corrected or managed if caught early. The first red flag is persistent pain or discomfort during or after self-touch, even when you've used lubrication and taken a gentler approach. That could be your body signaling inflammation, irritation, or even a minor infection. Left unaddressed, these issues can worsen and impact more than just your sexual health. The second is sudden numbness or a noticeable dead zone of sensation. A gradual softening of sensation is common with age, but a sharp drop could point to a nerve-related problem. The earlier that's evaluated, the more options you have for preventing long-term loss. Third, if you find you can't achieve or maintain an erection even in the calmest, most private settings, when you're not rushed, stressed, or distracted, it may be a sign of a vascular or hormonal issue. This isn't about masculinity. It's about blood flow and hormone balance, both of which can be treated or supported when caught in time. And fourth, emotional distress tied to your self-care, whether it's frustration, shame, or a sense of disconnection, is just as important as any physical symptom. Sexual health and emotional well-being are deeply linked, and your feelings are valid medical data points, not weaknesses to hide. When it comes to starting the conversation with your doctor, it doesn't have to be complicated. Try something as simple as, I've noticed changes in how my body responds during solo activity. Is this part of normal aging or something I should monitor? Mention specific symptoms, like dryness, loss of sensitivity, or concerns about blood flow. Most experienced urologists will know exactly how to guide you. Even a short consultation can give you clarity, relief, and a concrete plan. Now that you know when to seek help, let's pull together the key lessons from everything we've discussed so you can have a clear map for moving forward. Your body is not broken, it's evolving. And your technique should evolve right along with it. The habits that once worked on autopilot now need a more mindful approach. That means loosening your grip, slowing your pace, paying attention to what your body is telling you, and letting go of performance-based measures of success. It means prioritizing the health of your blood vessels, your nerve endings, and your skin, while letting your breath lead the way. Because the real goal here isn't just climax, it's connection, comfort, and confidence in your own body. And here's the part most men don't expect: when you stop chasing the old definition of pleasure, you open the door to an entirely new kind. One that's deeper, steadier, and more satisfying than you might have thought possible. Many men I've worked with have told me that after making these adjustments, they not only regained enjoyment, but discovered sensations they never experienced in their younger years. This is the reward of adapting. You preserve your health while enhancing your pleasure. You're not going backward, you're moving forward into a phase where presence matters more than performance, and where satisfaction comes from listening to your body, not forcing it. And as we wrap up this conversation, there's one more thing you need to know, something that has nothing to do with your technique, yet can quietly affect your prostate health over time, especially if you masturbate regularly. Most men don't find out about it until it's too late. That's why in the next video, I'm going to break down exactly what it is and how to protect yourself before problems start. Even if you've mastered every technique we've talked about today, there's still one habit that could be quietly wearing down your prostate health, and most men have no idea it's happening. At your age, understanding the connection between self-touch and prostate function isn't optional. It's essential. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness, because your prostate plays a central role in not just sexual health, but urinary comfort, hormone balance, and overall vitality. The problem is, by the time most men notice symptoms, the changes have been developing for years. And here's the twist. It's not the act of self-touch itself that's the problem, it's what you do afterward that can either protect or harm that small but powerful gland. In my next video, I'm going to break down exactly how this habit affects the prostate, the mechanism behind it, and the simple adjustments you can make to protect yourself for the long term. Think of it as the missing piece in your self-care toolkit, the one that completes the bigger picture we've been building together today. Don't let yourself be part of the group that finds out only after it's too late. Click through to the next video so you can see the full picture of how to care for your body, your pleasure, and your prostate. Because you deserve to enjoy all three for many years to come.